You ever wonder if there's like a secret formula behind all communication? I mean, from a simple phone call all the way to a social media post that just blows up and goes viral. Well, it turns out there kind of is. There's this fundamental blueprint at work under the hood of everything. So let's dive in and see if we can decode the very system that runs how we send and receive, well, everything. So, that really gets us to the big question, right? How does a message go viral? How does one tweet, one video, one anything cut through all that noise and just grab everyone's attention? Well, the key to understanding this super modern thing, you're not going to believe this, it actually comes from a theory all the way back in the 1940s. And it was originally designed for something as basic as a telephone call. Crazy, right? Okay, so this is it. It's called the Shannon-Weaver model of communication. Now, I know at first glance it might seem a little old school, kind of like something just for engineers, right? But stick with me because as we're about to find out, the ideas behind it are, no joke, more relevant today than they have ever been. So at its heart, the model is actually really simple. It just breaks down communication into this super clear step-by-step process. The easiest way to think about it, it's like sending a signal down a wire. It just maps out how message gets from point A, that's the source, to point B, the destination. And it points out every single little stop it makes along the journey. And that journey, according to the original model, has 6 key steps. To really get how this all works, we've got to walk through each one of these parts. All right, so here's how the whole thing flows. First, you've got the source. That's just the person or the mind with the idea. Then, the transmitter, which is what turns that idea into a signal, like your voice or your phone. That signal then zips through a channel, which could be the airwaves or the internet. On the other end, a receiver, say another person's phone, decodes it back into a message for the destination, which is the person you're trying to reach. But there's always a but, right? You've also got noise, and that's anything that messes with the message. It could be a bad cell connection, or in today's world, it could literally be the social media algorithm just deciding not to show your post to anyone. So for the longest time, that was the model, a simple one-way street. A message goes out and that's it. But then modern thinking added a 7th piece to the puzzle. And this one addition was a total game changer. It transformed the whole model and made it perfect for understanding not just machines, but us, how we interact online. And that crucial element? It's feedback. And this is the fundamental shift right here. The original model, it was basically a monologue, a one-way broadcast. But once you add feedback, it's not a monologue anymore. It's a dialogue. It's no longer just someone shouting into the void. It's a real, dynamic, two-way conversation where the person on the receiving end gets to talk back. Okay, and this is where things get really, really interesting. Because in our world today, feedback isn't just some abstract idea somebody tacked on. It is the literal engine that powers our entire digital world. Yeah, think about it. Every single one of these things, a like, a share, a comment, even just clicking on a link, every one of them is a piece of feedback. It's a direct response to a message, a tiny signal you're sending right back to the person who created it. But what makes digital feedback a genuine superpower is 2 things, speed and scale. It happens in real time, instantly, and it can happen with millions, even billions of people at the same time. For whoever sent the original message, this is like having a massive, nonstop fire hose of data, telling them exactly how their message is being received. So what do you actually do with all that data? I mean, what's the point? Well, this is where the real power of feedback kicks in. This is where it stops being just a simple response and becomes an incredibly strategic tool for anyone trying to communicate anything. All that data basically gives the sender a toolkit with 3 amazing functions. First, you get to verify reception. Did anyone even see my message? Check. Second, you can measure the reaction. How did it land? Did people love it, hate it, or just scroll right past it? And third, and this is the most important one, you get to make adjustments. You can use all that reaction data to fine-tune your next message, and the one after that. So when you put it all together, what this really means is that feedback is so much more than just a reply. It's the fuel for evolution. In our digital world, it creates this amazing, endless loop. You communicate, you measure the reaction, and then you refine. It gives creators a chance to just keep getting better and better, forever. And that brings this whole thing right back to you. Because every single time you post something, send a text, shoot off an email, you're not just throwing a message out into the world. You're starting one of these feedback loops. So I guess the real question to leave you with is, what message are you sending today? And more importantly, what conversation are you hoping to start?